So how was it like during like how's San Francisco or like where you're from been? Has it been like dirty?
Well, it's always been dirty. Well, I live up in the Santa Cruz Mountains now.
Uh-huh.
San Francisco has had a steady decline since I've been a kid in terms of like homelessness and the stuff we were talking about before we came on air. Here, you were telling me about what you saw. You went out to
India.
well, no, but you said you went out to the valley
Yeah, I just
recently.
yeah, this morning I went out to go get a blood test done because I had a doctor's appointment, and just driving down where the doctor appointment was on the streets, you just see trash and stuff. It's gotten much more dirtier than the last time I've seen it.
Yeah, it's it's progressively worse all the time. And I'm from San Jose, and I've kind of lived here my whole life. I lived in Southern California for a couple of years. I actually lived out in I don't know if you know Upland.
Hmm.
Out near I lived out in Upland for a couple of years, but other than that, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. And yeah, it's been a steady decline. The homelessness has gotten worse and worse and worse. And like that's that's where the majority of like the trash and water pollution comes from. Is that like even here in Santa Cruz, people have no idea how bad people from Santa Cruz know, but people like people in the Bay Area don't realize how bad of a homeless problem we have in Santa Cruz. It's insane. It's like it's out of control. It's San Francisco out of control. It's just we're not as nearly big of a city, you know. We don't even have high-rise buildings, but we got a river that actually just moved a little before your time. You remember Lost Boys, the movie Lost Boys?
No.
Vampire movie. Some of the people watching the movie. Anyway, there's like a famous bridge in the movie that they all hang from and they fall. It's a famous scene, the Lost Boys Bridge. The San Lorenzo River is what goes under the Lost Boys Bridge and goes out into the ocean right at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And like it's beautiful. It's a beautiful river until it hits Santa Cruz. And it's just homeless people living all along it. And it all recently flooded. Like we had crazy rains, you know, the weather. And like we just had like that river got insane. It got higher than it's gotten since the 80s. And it washed all sorts of homeless encampment crap out to the beach. And yeah, all the homeless people got displaced, of course. And you know, but now that the storm, you know, it's even though it's raining right now, but springtime is about here. They're all going right back. I mean, we're talking thousands of people congregated into a really small area with no sanitation, no facilities, no anything. And yeah, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And the California government's only made it worse and worse and worse.
Very true. They don't really care. They only care about how much money they get from the taxpayer money they get in their pockets and how much power they can control over people.
I think that's true for Gavin Newsom for sure. I think more at the local level, like yeah, Gavin Newsom, he's just a horrible person. Yeah. What you said is spot on for him. His slick back hair, yeah, you completely defined the man. But at the local level, it is a lot of like good intentioned stuff. Like it's these bleeding heart liberals that really do like feel bad for the homeless, but that's what it is. They feel bad for the homeless. And unfortunately, that's not what we need to fix the homeless problem. It's not feeling bad for people. Tough love's a thing. You know, a swift kick in the ass is a thing. You can't do drugs and throw your needles all over the place. You can't shit on the sidewalk. You just can't do that stuff. Mm-hmm. You can't do open air roasting your spoon with heroin. You can't do that. It's not cool. Not allowed to do it. I'm pretty sure that shit's illegal already. And like if California really wanted to clean its shit up, they would do exactly that. They would take, I mean, look what they did with they would take existing policies and they would enforce them. They would take existing laws and they would enforce them instead of taking away laws that encourage crime. Like look at all the places that are just getting robbed left and right now, like all the Walgreens and shit. You know, like Walgreens are closing up. Like it's really bad in Portland too. I mean, it's obviously not California, but it's the same problem. They decriminalize theft below. I mean, what is it? It's like $1,000 or something like that.
think so.
$900. Sorry, I got to cough. I'm going to mute you really quick. Sorry, COVID cough. I'm just kidding. It wasn't that. Are we going to get kicked off of YouTube now?
No, you're fine. So you're thinking about the lowering the money of the releasing of the prisoners or whatever it was. The crime. Continue on.
Well, yeah. All right. So they don't enforce existing policies. Like you can't camp on the beach. You can't camp along the river. You can't I'm already. It really sucks because I go against my own stuff because I'm very conflicted with police. I'm not conflicted. Like I don't like the way we do policing in this country. But if you're going to do it, if you're going to have laws and you're going to have these things, enforce them. Don't just have. It's like now you're doing selective police enforcement too, and it's like if I went and camped on the beach, guaranteed you I'd get a fat ass ticket. I guarantee you. Like if I went and set up my cool old station wagon, set up a tent, did like a little, and I would do, if I did a bonfire too, I would do it in a way where I would clean up my mess the next day. I would leave. I'm a trail runner, I'm like a leave no trace person. So if I went to the beach, I would leave no trace when I left. Guaranteed, I would get rolled up on that night by a ranger and I would get a fat ass ticket because that's who they go after. They go after the middle class. That's how they destroy the middle class too. Mm-hmm. Like they encourage homelessness, they encourage drug use, they encourage theft, they encourage crime on every level. And then they go after people. Parking enforcement in San Francisco. This shit's insane. Like if you're a contractor in San Francisco and you're just doing a job like I was on, you got to go out and move your vehicle every 2 hours. I'm no joke. I'm not kidding. In a residential neighborhood, you got this giant work van, a work truck, whatever, with ladders and shit on the roof. Like you can only park in a spot for 2 hours and guaranteed those meter maids are on your ass. And they drive these little 3-wheeled buggies with motorcycle helmets. Just want to go tip them over. I hate those bastards. Like, oh, they're the worst people on earth. They are the scum of the earth. They really are. Meter maids, if any of you are listening, you're the scum of the earth. I hate you. Sorry.